Good morning, everyone. On the behalf of City University and School of Management Studies, I heartily welcome Ms. Samyra Gupta for seminar on Women and Entrepreneurship, Overcoming Barrier to Success. She is an innovative and passion-driven entrepreneur with a deep sense of fashion. She has been running her own couture as Samyra Gupta Couture for around a year. Prior to this, she has worked as a coaching trainer and also worked as a center head in Chandigarh branch for the same company. Please give her a big hand, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your generous words. And a very good morning to my lovely audience for today. As ma'am already introduced me, but let me tell you, I am Samyra Gupta, a daughter, a wife, and a mother of two, and definitely an entrepreneur. So I am successfully running my couture, Samyra Gupta Couture, for around a year now. And like many of you, I also belong to a family that's orthodox in nature, a family where there are restrictions imposed on women's working. I really guess many of you also belong from the families where, daughters are sent to get educated just because of one reason, that you get educated and then you get married to a good guy, and then you have to fulfill all your responsibilities at home. You have to do all the household chores. Likewise, I belong to the same family. When I started working, from that tender age, I have seen my elders going to school, going to colleges, pursuing their graduations with that norm only, that what they have to do is they have to get graduate, they have to get qualifications just to get married and to, do all the household chores, to fulfill their responsibilities very gracefully. But I was literally a rebellious teenager. There was literally a force inside me that I don't want to sit idle at home even after completing my graduation or my post-graduation. So right in that time when I was pursuing my graduation, I started finding different kind of opportunities, because I was knowing this thing very clearly. It was clear in my head that my family is not going to support me in going out of the town. So I started finding opportunities right while I was pursuing my graduation. I started taking coaching. I thought that I should go in some banking sector, any sector that belongs to state jobs, central jobs. So I definitely found a center over there and I started taking good coaching over there. And all the good institutes, they keep track of they keep record of your marks, your scores, and likewise the director of the institute, he has a complete score of my mathematics, my logical reasoning subjects, etc. So he approached me once, he told me that you're doing very good in your era, you're doing very good in your field. So would you like to join us? We are having enormous batches, we are having enormous students who need this kind of coaching, this kind of guidance. They appointed me there, they trained me, and after 6 months of training, they provided me with a very fine batch of 25 students whom I taught according to my knowledge, whom I guided according to my knowledge. And then from there, I started my journey of working in that organization. Meanwhile, I was pursuing my post-graduation, and then after completing my post-graduation, I got selected in that company, in that organization permanently, and I started doing work there. So I was really happy with my job. I was I got a chance to teach many students who were graduating, who were pursuing their post-graduation, law students. I used to train them. And then after a good experience and after doing very good in that era, I was promoted to Chandigarh as a center head in the same company. And that was literally time-changing, and I felt very happy. Like every other girl, when the time comes, my family even got me married. I got into a family, I get married, I had my own set of responsibilities to fulfill that time now. And it was literally very hard after getting married, to make a balance between those family responsibilities and my work life. I still worked for, I guess even after my marriage, I worked for around 5 to 6 months, for around 1 year. But it was really very difficult to work after marriage because I was so unable to maintain that work balance. You know, I have to look after my kids, I have to see many responsibilities. There were times that I don't get to my job on time, and eventually I quit. I quit my job, I quit my dream. Though I was the woman who always wanted to work, but there were some, reasons. Every family has some reasons. I could not pursue that. But there was definitely a force inside that I don't want to sit idle at any point of time. I was always a fashion enthusiast. I always have a passion of, making outfits of my own, designing outfits for my family, whether they are for my in-laws, whether for my own parents. So I literally came up with the idea that why to sit idle. I went to my husband, I talked to him, I convinced him that what if I cannot go out of the place, I can do something from my own home as well. I definitely can do it. I convinced him with my talks, and I started my own venture as Samyra Gupta Couture for back a year. And now I am doing really well. I have a good team. There are 5 to 6 members in a team. I am doing, the entire setup is inside. I myself am doing that very thing right from the scratch. Until now, we are shipping all over India, we are shipping internationally, and there is a good response. And I am really glad that I am here today. I got the opportunity to share my insights and my struggles during my journey of entrepreneurship with you all. So let's start with our main thing. The main thing is, what according to you is an entrepreneur? I just told my journey of an entrepreneurship. I shared my views of entrepreneurship with you. Now I want to ask you, what according to you, who according to you is an entrepreneur? Anyone? Anyone from you?
Person with brilliant idea and courage to take the risk.
Very good. Very, very nice. Anyone else? Who according to you is an entrepreneur?
Convert the idea into the reality.
Right, absolutely right. Anyone else? Any other definition of entrepreneur?
Motivate. Motivation.
Okay, right. So what an entrepreneur is? So let's talk about entrepreneur. What's an entrepreneur is? Any individual who starts up a business with a dream, and he believes in his dream, and he works tirelessly to fulfill his dream is an entrepreneur. I hope I am very clear. That girl was very much right. Any individual that starts up a business with a dream, you see a dream, you visualizes your dream, you believes in your dream, and then you do every effort, you make every effort to make that belief true. That is an entrepreneur. So it's not that an entrepreneur will always be successful. You just can have a dream. You are not supposed to get successful to your dream. It will take time. You will have to, face a lot of challenges, struggles to fulfill that dream. But what matters is that you dream and you work tirelessly to fulfill that dream. That's an entrepreneur. Okay. So let's talk about women entrepreneurship now. A woman who is an individual starting a business on its own, originating that business, sees a dream and then works for that dream, that's a women entrepreneur. In this modern era, I'm not talking about that back times, in this modern era, when we are very much closer in bridging the gap between male entrepreneur and female entrepreneur. I hope I am very right here. You can we talk about Falguni Nair. Everyone knows about the women? Okay. Those who didn't listen the name of Falguni Nair, let me be very clear. Everyone, most of the girls are sitting in front of me. So everyone uses Nykaa? Everyone uses Nykaa? So you all must be clear that Nykaa, who is the founder of Nykaa? Falguni Nair. The founder of Nykaa, the CEO of Nykaa is Falguni Nair, a woman who has worked for a long time in Kotak Mahindra Capitals. And right in that age, when people start, when people start planning about their retirement, that lady was the person who came up with the idea, who came up with the idea of her own venture in that age, e-commerce venture. Firstly, she launched Nykaa for cosmetics, for beauty related products, and then she launched Nykaa Fashion, all the beauty things, all the outfits kind of things there. So she is a self-made Indian billionaire, and there's no doubt in that. That's a self-made Indian billionaire. And then we can talk about any, if you can tell about any women entrepreneur.
Mrs. Bector.
Yes, a very good example, Mrs. Bector. Kramika? Yes. Kramika.
Biscuits.
Kramika Bakery is basically ice creams and parlors. There are many things, sauces, jams, Kramika. Right, Mrs. Bector? Yes, she is the CEO of that company. Any other women entrepreneur? You know?
Shehnaz Hussain.
Yes, Shehnaz Hussain. Any other example? Right, very right. Like we are having, so I had already told you that we are very close in bridging the gap between female and male entrepreneurs now. So there are a lot of women entrepreneurs working, and you yourself know the examples. We can talk about the CEO of VLCC. VLCC is a very renowned brand. Miss Vandana Luthra, if you know her, mother of 2 daughters. She, established her headquarters right after her studies in Delhi, and now she is running a very successful business in 18 other countries, Asian countries, right? You all know that website Zivame, right? Everyone is well known, well versed with that site also. The CEO of that is also a woman, right? So there are many women who are entrepreneurs these days. They are working in the direction of making a successful business on their own. But as women is working, but there are certain challenges that a woman has to face till today, even in the non-Western countries. I'm not talking about Western countries. In US, there is a huge ratio of women entrepreneurs, but in non-Western countries, there are still women who are facing challenges for their entrepreneurship. Now, let's start discussing about the challenges. The very first is lack of family support. So, you around yourself must be seeing many women who are working, whether they are doing job, whether they are an entrepreneur, and they might be, they are facing a lot of challenges. So, what according to you is the most faced challenge to a woman who is an entrepreneur or who is working in any field? Yes, I want to take this from you guys. Yes. Any other? What are the real life challenges you see women facing, all those women who are working in any field or as an entrepreneur? Financial crisis, literally, yes. Insufficient funds, basically. Any other? Discrimination, yes. Very nice. Exactly. So you all know, you all are aware of already the challenges faced by women as an entrepreneurship. So let's talk about this. The first is lack of family support. The lack of family support comes a part of gender stereotypes only. When we live in those families, we are born and brought up the way where men are, nurtured, men are raised in that direction only, where they are told that you have to nurture a family, either you have to take over a business. Eventually their mind is set, men's mind is always set that you have to make earning for your family. So men are already in the state of mind that we have to grow up, either we have to work in an organization, or we have to do our own business, or we have to take over our father's business. But eventually they are settled in that state only where they know that we have to be business oriented. But what about women? Women doesn't get that support. They are not channeled in the same way. They are not directed in the same way. There are still the families, they don't raise up their women telling that you have to make a factory bigger than your dad. This is told in business class families to their boys, that you have to do this work, you have to do this, you have to make the empire, you have to create the empire that should be bigger than your father. But to women, I guess there are lesser families who talk to their daughters. They let their daughters sit beside them and they talk to them that no, you have to do this. Daughters are only taught one thing, that you have to be graceful, you have to fulfill all your responsibilities after marriage, and this is how you have to work throughout your life. So family support is basically lacking here, is the biggest barrier in overcoming the women entrepreneurship. The next one is lack of confidence. This is exactly related to the lack of family support. When we are not guided enough about the business ideas, when we are not directed in that channel, definitely we will be lacking confidence. Also, the mob's talk about all these things will definitely hamper your confidence. Like the people's talks, not believing in you will definitely hamper your confidence. So lack of confidence is a big thing. We have to cover it on our own. No one will give you confidence. No one will come and tell you, no women, you have to go, you have to rise, you have to do like a man in the industry. But you have to gain your confidence on your own. You have to get knowledge, you have to impart knowledge on your own behalf, right? The next one is work-life balance, and we have already discussed about it. This is the most important issue women faces. There are social taboos. Everyone is aware. A woman is always considered to do everything at home. Starting right from cooking parts, a woman is liable to prepare all the food. A woman is liable to look after the kids. A woman is liable to do every little, every imperative, every little core at home, right? Only a woman is supposed to do this. So how to make that work-life balance? This is a very, major issue. A woman who is an entrepreneur, he or she, and this is basically, it's not about he or she, it's about she only. A woman is supposed to do everything from scratch as an entrepreneur. That's very right. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to look after your business from very scratch, from very first day, from everything where you have to participate. Then there comes your home where you have to look after everything all alone. Because your male counterparts are not taught, are not prepared in this manner that they should consider this as their priority as well. This family belongs to them also. But we women are raised in the way that we are being fitted in this, this to our mind that we have to do everything. We have to maintain this work-life balance. And this is the major issue where we literally face, challenges, not a challenge, but it's a severe challenge that we have to overcome this. The next is shortage of funds. That someone from you also discussed this idea, the shortage of funds. Yes, this is a major issue. Your husband, your family members, your investors, they don't believe in business acumen. When it's about women, they don't believe in your business acumen, right? In many areas, women entrepreneurs will be asked 1,000 more questions rather than their male counterparts, while this will be the time of giving you investment, while providing you investment, because they don't believe in your ideas. This term, women entrepreneur term, is still not that normalized term. Women are still considered like, your business acumen is not that strong. So they will definitely, this is definitely a very big issue, very, very big issue, that you will be lacking funds always. Then there is unsafe environment. Isn't that? That's obvious, Unsafe environment, Um, as a developed country, wherever we are, how long we use this term to describe that we live in a developed country, but this unsafe environment literally haunts us even today. Literally haunts us. You know, people outside are waiting for your weak moments. They are trying to create your weak moments. Isn't that? As an entrepreneur, you have to move at any span of time, at any distance, at any time, but you feel unsafe. Yes, we feel unsafe. You know, lack of mobility, late night mobilities. So, this is the very, very major challenge that a woman face while you are an entrepreneur. You're not in that safe environment. We don't feel safe at any, that we cannot rush at any point of time. We are having those hurdles that we have to look after that time, what time is safe for us, what place is safe for us, what the source of commuting is very difficult for us at some intervals of time. So this is again a very big hurdle that a women entrepreneur faces, right? But let's try to overcome these barriers now. How we can raise ourselves. See, whatever you have to do in life, you have to do on yourself. You know, you have to do everything yourself. There is you cannot have you must have learned that you just cannot have everything cooked and served in your plate from beginning. You are sent in schools and universities, you have to get that knowledge, you have to impart knowledge with others also, so that you can raise each other, so that you can support each other to overcome these barriers. Let's talk about the solutions of the challenges we faced during this time. The first one is build a strong support system. Yes, you have to build a strong support system. There is no other option. You know that many battles can be won without firing a bullet. You know, there are battles that can be won without firing a bullet. Logical discussions, there are many issues, many disputes that can be solved with just logical discussions. What you have to do is you have to create that aura. You sit with your family, you talk to them, you convince them, you convey your idea to them, so that they are influenced and they are ready to invest in you. Am I right? It's not that they will come to you. If you want to do something for yourself, you have to sit with them. You have to convey your own ideas to them. You have to convince them. You have to talk to them that this is what I want to do. And you should be very sure what you are talking to them. They should be very much influenced with your talks. This is how you can build a strong support system. And this is surely going to be your key of success. A very good supportive system, a rock solid supportive system. This is must. Then only you can work. Then only you can go in the field to work for your desired designation. Then it's about work on yourself. Yes, you have to work on yourself. You have to be self-confident. You have to keep gathering knowledge. You have to keep gathering knowledge. You have to teach yourself, you have to train yourself, you have to guide yourself. You need to read good books that can help you to get some information relating to your field, what you want in your field. Then there are some expert sessions, personality development courses are there. Many things are there from which you can, gain that confidence. This is how you have to work on yourself, and you can get a good confidence. You can, train yourself, you can educate yourself, then only you can go, to become a successful entrepreneur. You need a perfect guidance. There are many sessions provided, many personality development courses that literally boost your morale. You literally need to do that. The next one is schedules and systems. Definitely. Manage yourself well before. You have to manage yourself well prior to anything. You have to set your own schedules. You must be having your to-do list well before going to start your day. This is what I do in my case. Being with 2 kids, it is not difficult for me to run to run a team of 5 members, 6 members. I have to look after my kids also. I have to do my household chores also. But what you have to do, you have to schedule, you have to make a system. What I do is literally my mantra of life is this. What I do is I make a to-do list for me, well prepared before my day starts. I know at what time, this is the time I have to give to my kids, this is the time I have to manage for my husband, this is the time I have to give to my family, and then there are intervals when I have to go and I have to focus on my work. So this is what you have to do. You have to manage your system well planned. You have to keep your system very well planned. Then only a woman can do. Yes, it is a biggest hurdle. Work-life balance is definitely the biggest hurdle in your life. But you have not to run away from this. You have to manage that. You have not to say that I am doing that is why I am unable to do this. No. You have not to make excuses. You have to steer through that. You have to make your own way. You have to make your own path. This is the only solution. You have to schedule. You have to maintain a system while you are working. This is the only key to success. The only key to success, that you have to manage yourself well before your any day, before any planned activity. Right? Right, dear. The next solution is, what you have to do is have an eye for low cost and sufficient funding. I told you, your investors will never believe in your business acumen. I told you, because you are a woman and we are not, used to seeing those female entrepreneurs in on a vast rate. We are not used to this. So what you have to do, you yourself have to keep an eye on very, low cost and sufficient funding. How you can do that? First is you have to find your angel investor. An investor who just listens to your idea and who is ready to invest in your business. You have to find that angel investor for you. Then you have to keep an eye on government schemes. There are many government schemes that really provide a help in real hand, right? And then there are many shows and platforms coming, that are really ready to fund the new entrepreneurs. Many of you must be aware about that. Many government schemes are there. Many, platforms, many shows are there who are always ready to fund the new entrepreneurs. So you yourself have to keep an eye on those things, right? The next one is women raising women. The most, according to me, the most important is this: women raising women. Like, maybe you won't think that this is that key. You won't think that this is that efficient for a woman entrepreneur to help a woman. But no, this is your ladder in that snakes and ladder game. This is your ladder where you never know there are many hidden snakes ready to bite you. Unless and until you support each other, you share your success stories with each other, because this acts as an inspiration and also this provides an open network to connect as a mentor. You have to give helping hand to each other first. That's the key. I told you, you never know where is your hidden snake to bite you, where is your hidden snake ready to bite you. So the first and the foremost key is a woman needs to support every other woman, whether she is working, whether she is not working. If a non-working woman is giving a helping hand to a working entrepreneur woman, then also it is a very good job. If with your support someone can rise, then you will surely rise someday. You have always give a helping hand. You have to share your success stories. You have always to share those stories. You have always to create that motivational aura. If someone is doing something, you have to motivate them. You have to learn from them so that you can also do something in your area. So a woman has always to raise women. That will also to support women even in your houses. As a mother, somewhere as a mother you have to support another woman, somewhere as a daughter you have to support another woman. So the mandatory thing is, in any norm, in any term, you need to support each other, you need to raise each other, right? So it's just like to conclude, I must say, it's the best thing that ever happened to me is that I am a female. Yes, I really feel this. The best thing that ever happened to me is that I am a female. And yes, I want the same for every female. Every female should feel it. Every female should feel it. Also, even if you are unable, even if you are very unable to fight your battles, to pursue your dreams, you have not to give up. You have never to give up. You have to be persistent, Quitters never win and winners never quit. Do you know this thing? You might be facing a lot of challenges even if you are not ready to face those challenges, even if there are lots of hurdles in your way. But you have never to quit. You have to make your own way. You have to pave your own path. You have to create your own success story. You have to build your own success story basically. That's the only key to success. You have never to quit. You have to dream, you have to fight for your dreams, you have to work for your dreams, you have to fight for your right throughout the life. Just keep this one thing in your mind, that you have to fight for your dreams. You have to make impacts on others' life as well. You are the future, you are the brightest future, and you have to make that impact, you have to create that impact. And there is no other key, there is no other mantra to success. No one ever gets everything right in their plate, no one ever gets that. You have to work for yourself. You have to do everything on your own. You have to motivate yourself. You have to motivate each other. You have to see what the challenges I am facing. If you can help others, you definitely have to raise your helping hand to that person as well. And it was really nice interacting with you. And I really hope if my words can create any impact in all of your lives, it will be really grateful. I'll really feel honored and pleasured. Thank you so much. Also, I told you that I am running my own couture now. So I am into a fashion industry where I am, we create clothes from very first step, like from dyeing the raw material. We source the raw materials, we dye them, and then we cut and sew, we machine works, hand works, everything is inside my unit. So I am, moving with a good team. Running with a good team. So any one of you who wants to ask me any question regarding entrepreneurship, though I have already shared all my journey with you, happily shared my journey with you, but in any of the case, if anyone wants to ask any question, you all are very free to ask any question.
Yes, anybody want to ask?
No? You all are satisfied. I hope you all are very much okay listening to me, and that will definitely, I really hope my words will definitely create a good impact in your lives as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.